What's up, little homies? This is your Talking to Face, also known as Bad Horse, coming at you with your Week 3 KTS for Season 2. This week we're going to be doing a little bit of Capture the Flag on Hemorrhage, which is a map that a lot of people know very well, but I still see a lot of mistakes on, and I'd just like to take this time to go ahead and give you a couple tips on how to improve your multi-flag CTF experience and hopefully win a few more games. Now, what you're seeing here is that us being an organized team, we're all immediately aware of where we're headed as soon as the match starts. You can see two people in the Warthog. You see Kiba immediately go for the Revenant. You see Halo Reach Tutor go for the Wraith. You see me immediately hop on a Mongoose, and I'm headed for the Blueberries. And here you see Angry Irish has the sniper rifle. But what I want to talk about right now, because it's relevant, ultimately on a Hemorrhage game, objective has to be to utilize your own Wraith in the best way possible while eliminating the other Wraith. And what you see right here is we're holding our Wraith and Halo Reach Tutor in the Wraith back on the other side of the hill until we're able to disable the other Wraith. Because if you take one Wraith and you just go smash it against another, I mean, you've got a 50-50 shot on which one's going to come out first. Many times both get destroyed, and then no one has an advantage. Alright, so now that that Wraith is out of the way, what you're seeing is a 3 or 4 vehicle push. This is our initial push that you would have seen if we had all just rushed across that hill immediately. But, you know, with that little bit of hesitation there, we make sure that we get their Wraith out of the way, and then come barreling through, guns blazing. We get our Wraith to get on their Revenant, so that way that's out of the way. That way our foot, you know, our Mongooses and our Warthogs are going to all be relatively safe from that kind of action. And immediately you can see here, we're able to push in. The Wraith is actually dividing the red base from their spawn, at least on the right side or left side, whichever way you're looking at it. And then you have the other vehicles kind of doing loops and focusing on where red is spawning. Alright, so what you're seeing here is that we've loosened our grip on red's base. We've kind of made the mistake of pulling out when we had that flag, and we allowed them to slip into their base, and now they've really created a stronghold in there, and it's made it very difficult for us to even breach their doors. And when we do, it's immediate, you know, 4 people shooting at you type of situation. Here, obviously, you can see that they have 5 people on top of their base. They've got more inside. Here, if you look, there's a sweet assassination, and it's really become difficult to penetrate their base. So that's one thing that you do not want to let people do. I mean, we're eventually able to overcome it and get in there, but way more time wasted than needed to be in this game if we had just kept up that little barricade, that blockade that we had between their spawn zones and their base. So what you'll notice here is that we have a Warthog running around red's base, and that is a great weapon to seal red off from their base and keep them pinned in their spawns. You can see that there are some over here, there are some over there, and as we work on them in their base and we get one kill or another kill, we're using that Warthog to seal off those spawns and keep them from actually gaining another foothold in the base, and little by little we're whittling down their defenses. Now, another interesting point to make about this game is that I did say defenses, and their team has primarily focused on defense. And the reason for that is that we set the tone early that we were going to be the aggressive side, that they were going to have to keep more than half of their resources dedicated to defense. Being able to take out that Wraith first thing is very important to setting that tone, but also having good sniper control. You can't underestimate the importance of having a good sniper. A good sniper can not only demoralize a team, but they can make that incentive to go outside so much lower. You don't want to get killed, and so you're back in your base, you're hiding behind a tree, you can't push, you feel like you can't push forward. Now, snipers only have a limited amount of bullets. If you were to run out there and you were to be killed by the sniper, even your sniper obviously can't do all the work, but it adds to that feeling of just crushing defeat. Now, I'll also mention that the Wraith and the Warthog, those are great deterrents as well for keeping people in the base or in their spawn or hiding and on the defensive. But there's nothing quite like taking 2 steps out of a building and being sniped directly in the head and going straight to respawn screen. Now, just as a quick note here, what I've done is I've condensed down some of this footage from where we were struggling to get in their base. We had a couple attempts to get in, but it seemed like there was always someone in there with a shotgun, or something would go wrong on our side. side. And a perfect example of that is, I don't see Halo Reach Tutor make many mistakes, but this is one that I'll have to cite because it's one that I see a lot of players make. When you pull up to a door, like this one, you can't pull in with the driver's side facing the open side if you're picking up someone, or even if you're dropping out off someone. You need to turn that thing around so it's an easy in out for them. Here it costs us a flag score, I'm almost certain of it. So the next thing we need to talk about is organization. As you can see here, we're paying for our lack of organization in that, we keep sending people in there, they keep getting killed off, but we're never really making a good solid push and saving those vehicles that we're gaining as they respawn for a concerted effort. Another thing to note right now is that what you're seeing is a really good defense of their flag, in that you have your shotgun available and inside the base, and that person's actually looking out for that flag. And that's the only place your shotgun should be. It should not be out on the field anywhere else. It should be in your base, covering your flag. I've found from personal experience, if you have a shotgun defending your flag, the most that you'll ever need is 3 people defending your base. And usually only 2 people defending. That frees up a good percentage of your fighting force to be able to go pursue that other base and keep their base at bay. If you're having trouble defending your own base because you just have enemies constantly pouring in, really take a look at how much you're putting pressure on them, because if you're not putting the proper pressure on their base, they have no reason to stay and defend it. They can just send as many people as they want over and just gnaw at you. One thing that you do have to be leery about with these multi-flag games is that you get into a trade-off situation where you're continually just running the flag, but you don't realize that they're also running the flag on you because you're both completely devoted to offense. Just pay attention to your scorecard and be the first one to act defensively and throw them off their game. Well guys, it seems like there's so much left to say, but unfortunately I'm out of time. I hope I see you back here next week. Until then, rate, comment, subscribe, and peace out, little homies.